Hello and welcome to the Strength Series. Today I want to take you through a routine that is centered around shoulder strength and stability. So it's going to incorporate a pull-in motion, a push-in motion and a really good overhead press. So let's get straight into it. So we're going to start off with our one arm seated row. So place the chair out in front, place your right hand on the chair, and we're going to have the weight just directly underneath our left shoulder. Now you can use a dumbbell in this move. Make sure the back is nice and flat. We're bent at the hips and we've got slight bend in the knees. We're going to lift the weight up and we're going to bring that elbow up nice and close to our torso, so the elbow brushes the side of our torso, and then we're going to come down. That's number one. Up again, number two. And again, 3, 4, last one, and 5. Perfect, and then down. And let's swap sides. So just choosing the appropriate weight that feels good for you. By now, after doing a few of the other routines, you'll be pretty familiar with a lot of these exercises. Okay, so set that weight up directly under your right shoulder now. And let's go again. So lift the weight up and let's go. Number 1 and down. Number 2, coming down in nice control. Number 3. Number 4. And last one. 5. Brilliant. We're going to drop that weight down. So that is our pulling action. We're drawing that weight up by the side of our body. So now we're going to go into our overhead press. So set the kettlebell just on our shoulder here. Now if this is challenging enough for you, stay here. You can walk around the room with the weight just here. If you're happy to do so, we're going to push the weight overhead and hold the arm nice and close to the ear, and we're just going to walk around from the end of your mat. Feel free to walk around your living room at home. What's really good about this exercise is we're getting that arm overhead, a position we're very rarely in. We're loading up the shoulder joint. We're using the weight that is appropriate for you, as with all of these exercises. Make sure the wrist is nice and straight. We're not dropping the weight down. We're not compromising our wrist. Okay, this is called your farmer's carry. And it's a fantastic exercise to work the whole body. Okay, a couple more moments with that overhead. Take a breather at any point. And then slowly lowering the weight down in control, back down. Fantastic. Let's swap sides. So we're into our left hand now, keeping the wrist nice and straight. I'm going to press the weight overhead. Get the arm close to the ear, and let's start walking. So the shoulder is a very shallow joint, requires a lot of control of the muscles around the shoulder, primarily your rotator cuff muscles. Their role is to stabilize your humerus, your upper arm bone, into the joint. And then you have your bigger global muscles, your biceps, your pec, your upper shoulder muscles that do the bigger movements. Well, what is excellent about this exercise is it really challenges the stability of this joint, builds strength in the bigger muscles, challenges hip stability as we're walking. Okay, bring that weight down if you want to just take a breather. Starts getting a bit challenging. Work at your own pace. Okay, a couple more moments here. And then coming down in control, bringing down the weight. Fantastic. Okay, just place that weight off to the side. So we've done our overhead press, we've done our pull-in action. Now we're going to get into our push, which is our press up. So we can set ourselves up into the press up position. Okay, if the plank is challenging enough for you, stay here. We can even have the knees down to do the press up. So make the modification appropriate for you. Okay, if we're in the full press up and you're ready and happy to continue, then we're going to come down, keeping the elbows by the side, down to the mat, and then back up. Number 1. Second rep. 2. Keep the hips level, coming down. Number 3. Coming down for number 4. And last one. Coming down nice and slowly in control. And up. Good work. Okay, that's our first set. We're going to get into our second set now. So grab the weight again, set yourself up for our pull, our row. So right hand on the chair, feet shoulder width apart, slight bend in the knees, we're bending at the hips. We're setting that weight directly under our left shoulder. We're going to lift up and let's get into it. So bringing that weight up, elbow brushing the torso and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good work. Then coming down and swapping sides. So set that weight up and let's go for it. Left hand on the chair and drawing that right arm up for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good work. And drop that weight down. Okay, let's get into our second set of our overhead press. So set the weight up, and again we can just have it on the shoulder here. If that's challenging enough for you, no need to go any further. If you're happy to do so, pressing the weight overhead, getting the arm nice and close to the ear, keeping the wrist nice and straight, and let's just walk. So you can walk around your living room, around the house, back and forth on your mat. So by now you'll be pretty familiar with a lot of these exercises. You'll be hopefully very confident around the weight that you can lift safely, but a weight that is challenging for you. The most important thing with all of these routines is consistency, and the way we build consistency is through not pushing ourselves too hard, so we can actually train most days. Okay, so a few more moments here. And then coming down in control. Fantastic. And swap sides. So holding the weight in our left hand now. Pushing overhead. And holding that weight nice and close to the ear. And let's go. So yeah, consistent training trumps lifting really heavy weights. Okay, we often overwork ourselves, push ourselves too hard in a training session, and we end up winding up with extreme muscle soreness or injury, and then we have to take time out. So I think it's better to err a little bit on the side of caution when it comes to choosing the appropriate weight for you. You want to feel like you're doing something, but you don't want to be so sore the next day that we have to take multiple days rest. So listen to the body. Okay, a few more moments here. And then coming down in control, back down. Fantastic. Okay, let's set ourselves up for our press up. So again, we can be down on the knees for this. We can cross the feet, we can come down the press up like so. Okay, as a modification. Or we can go in the full press up plank, like so. And stay here if this is challenging enough for you. Then you can work away at building towards the press up. If you're happy to do so, let's go down for our first rep. So coming down, elbows by the side. Number 1, and up. Coming down. 2. 3. 4, last one, 5. Good work. Okay, let's get into our third set. So again, grab the weight for our seated row. So right hand on the chair, left hand, set that weight up directly under the left shoulder. Slight bend in the knees, nice flat back, and let's go. Lift the weight up and go for number 1. Elbow brushing the side of the torso. Number 2. Number 3. 4. And 5. Good work. And down. Let's swap sides. So left hand on the chair, right hand on the weight, and let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect. Okay. So let's get into our third set of our overhead press. So again, holding the weight and pushing overhead. Keep the arm nice and close to the ear. So we really challenge that full range of motion through the shoulder. And let's start walking. So another great thing that you'll get out of lifting these weights is you improve your grip strength in your hand. Just simply holding a heavy weight will challenge that. Build strength through the forearms. So by now, the third set, you'll be feeling maybe some fatigue. So that might be a good opportunity just to lower down the weight a little bit if needed. Make note of that for your next workout so you know where you're at to track your progression. Okay, and then bringing down that weight nice and slowly. Good work. On to our left hand side. So when we're ready, pressing the weight overhead, arm nice and close to the ear, and let's go. Now, strength is a really important aspect of every sport, but certainly in endurance sports. If you can build strength within the muscles, improve their muscle recruitment, your power output will increase. You'll be more resilient to injury. You'll be faster running, faster cycling. This workout in particular is fantastic for swimming. Okay, so let's have a couple more moments here overhead. Standing nice and tall. And then coming down nice and slowly. Good work. Okay, let's set up for our third and final set of our press-ups. So again, we can be on the knees if needed. We can just simply get into the press-up plank. So just choose the modification that's good for you. If you're happy to get into the press-ups, let's get into it. So as we descend down, make sure those elbows stay nice and close to the side. Okay, number 1. And up. 2. Number 3. Number 4. And last one. Good work. Okay. Let's move the chair aside for our final move of the day. The most important part of every session that we have on the movement project. An opportunity to allow the body to rest, allow us to gather our breath. So a pretty short session today. If you're feeling inclined to do so, by all means, do another set. If you're happy with what you've done, it's certainly challenging. We can increase the weight a little bit. We can maybe add a couple of extra reps into each set. Or you can just increase the amount of sets that you do. So a number of ways that you can make this routine a little bit more challenging for you if you need a bit more. What we've done today though, we'll certainly have worked the shoulders, improved those key movement patterns. Let's get the breath under control. So if you've got 5 or 10 minutes now, just to practice your breathing technique, then I would thoroughly recommend you do that. If you do need to head off, then make sure you come back to this breathing routine at some stage during the day. It's an integral part of performance in whatever you do, whether that's sports or through your work. So thank you for joining me on the mat today. Have a fantastic rest of the day, and I look forward to catching up with you again tomorrow. Thank you very much.